Yeah, definitely a tough battle, defensive battle. You know you're going to get into that with San Diego State, and they did a really good job keeping us on our heels, making us earn everything we had. And guys, it's a little, you wish with the best defensive performance we put together this season, we would have loved to end up with a win and then had a better flow offensively, but that's what San Diego State will do to you. So seeing that for the first time as a group is good for them, and they now know. We've just, it's something that they've been doing for a really long time and hanging their hat defensively, and they end up winning games like this because of the way they defend.
You just mentioned, now they know. What is it that San Diego State does, maybe defensively, physically, rebounding, that you can't really prepare for in practice until you actually play against it in a game?
Yeah, I think, their culture. I mean, they're just the way they do everything, the way they do guard everything, and their physicality and their synergy amongst each other out on the floor it's tough to simulate, and that's what they do a really good job of. As much as anything, when you think you got them beat or you think one of them slips up, there's somebody there to help. There's a body to run into, and while we've played other teams that are, of course, very good and elite defensively, I think just being in conference and hearing about San Diego State, having seen it, is just a little different.
You mentioned your good defensive game, plus with them having two of their lead guards out. Do you feel like this was a missed opportunity to pick up a win over a good team in the Mountain West?
I mean, yeah. I mean, anytime you play at home, and guard the way you do, you want to win the home games, especially. It hadn't put any extra incentive on it because they were missing Pulliam and Butler, but Butler's been missing for a while now with his wrist. So, no, you got San Diego State January 1 at home. You just no, I guess is the short answer.
Kevin, your thoughts on the perimeter defense for San Diego State? Obviously, Josh and Michael, and especially, obviously, Jordan had a tough night tonight, just getting shots.
Yeah, no, they do an unbelievable job where you think there's space, you think there's room, you think there's rhythm, and they take up those gaps pretty quickly. And I think there was just a number of times that we'll see on film where we probably just needed to be one more pass patient and maybe one more movement. Move twice, we might need to move 3 times. And, it's easy to go back on film and notice, and it's easy to kind of see from the side, but it's a whole different world when you're out there, and they extend you and they make you take that extra dribble to get where you want to get to, and they just do a really good job. I mean, their hands are out, they're helping each other, and that's why they're an elite defensive team.
Coach, not playing a game for a little while because of the break, and now you have another game a game that's going to be postponed. Another week goes by. How difficult is that, just getting these guys trying to get into rhythm, especially offensively, when you're not out there?
Yeah, I mean, you get into a little bit of a rhythm with 2 games a week, but at some point in the conference schedule, there's a bye week where you only play 1. So we'll just kind of take ours back to back, and I think, as we all know, with COVID doing what it does and teams looking for games and whatnot, I don't think by any stretch we're going to go home tonight thinking it's guaranteed we're not playing until Saturday. I mean, we'll be ready to do what we need to do this week, be Tuesday on the road, Wednesday on the road, Tuesday here, Wednesday here, whatever it may be. So, and the nice part of that, I think the guys are used to it. Going through it last year, I don't think they're totally surprised. Where 2-3 years ago, you would have really surprised the guys if you walked in and said we're going to play a game on Wednesday or play a game on Tuesday or tomorrow, even, as we did last year for them. So a little different, but that's on us to keep them engaged, keep working. And this is a group that loves to be in the gym, so they're going to be in there working, and regardless of how much time's in between games.
Coach, could you take us through the thinking of when they all of a sudden, just right before game time, don't have another guard, so they don't have any point guards, and the obvious thing might be to trap full court press, but maybe you haven't worked on that in practice. How do you balance that as a coach? Obviously you didn't do it tonight, but how do you balance, do I want to throw something out there that maybe we haven't worked on that much?
We usually err on the side of things we've worked on. So yeah, not being a team that's run and jumped 94 feet, it just may not have been an opportunity. We don't want to put our guys in a situation where they're low likelihood they succeed and feel bad that they're not kind of seeing things the way we are. But again, yeah, I mean, we could have, we should have at some points, but at the end of the day, we'd rather be on the same page with the things we work on.
Thanks.
Thanks, Andy. Down the stretch, do you think it was a matter of cold shooting, or did San Diego State just crank up the defense on you guys?
Well, I think that's kind of just what they do. We got some looks, of course, but when everyone's tough and you do finally get a look, it's a little different. And that's been their identity for 20 years is guard. And I think, again, we did a good job, 12 turnovers, so we weren't turning over as much, but we just had a couple pockets of time where we turned it over consecutively. And I think that, as much as anything, disrupted our offensive rhythm. We couldn't get consecutive good shots up on the rim. And, yeah, I mean, again, at the end of games, this is a team that for 20 years has learned how to buckle down and guard things and understand the flow of the game and what each other is going to do. So they're probably going to end up winning a lot of those types of games, or 4 or 5 point games going into the last 5 minutes.
Any other questions for Coach? Oh, sorry. Sam, hold on. Two of these things.
Hey, Kevin, just a couple minutes ago, Bryce said that he took responsibility for some of the stagnance on offense. Now that it's league play and a lot of these coaches and players know his tendencies and have played against him a bunch of times, how do you find that balance of letting him do his thing in isolation situations, but also keeping the ball moving the way it was at the end of the non-conference schedule?
Well, I think we just need to get back to that, really. I thought the last 4-game stretch, or even 5 games with the second half at San Francisco, that the guys really had kind of dove into each other and just been really stubborn about getting those good shots. And I'm not saying that the guys didn't do that tonight. Again, San Diego State has a lot to do with that. And, but again, it's another opportunity for our guys to now see how much more stubborn we have to be and how much more deliberate and intentional we have to be about the things that we've talked about, coaches and players, and what we feel works. Because we did have 5 of our best games, or 4.5 of our best games offensively there in a stretch, and we've just got to know that, again, with San Diego State, it's going to be that next level. I mean, they're elite. They're top 10 defense in the country, and it's one of those things that until you probably go against it, knowing them in conference play, it's a little different. But for him to take responsibility, that's not. I don't think that he should have. I think we put him in a lot of situations where we expect him to make plays, and we lean on him, and he tries to do that to the best of his ability. But as you asked about going forward, yeah, I think we just continue to watch film and continue to work on it. Bryce is as good as anyone in recognizing when he could have made a different decision, and he acknowledges it, and so he's always pretty good about trying to get better in that regard.
Anybody else? All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Bryce, what do you think San Diego State did in the second half defensively that seemed to make it so difficult for you guys to score?
They're a top 10 defensive team in the country, so they played their defense. They did very well. We were very stagnant on offense. I put a lot of that on myself. We just had to do better. Moving the ball and just getting them in rotations.
Royce, what makes them so difficult to box out when it comes to defensive glass?
I think all those 3 through 5, they crash, and they crash hard. Those guys, this good defensive team in San Diego State, and those guys crash relentlessly. So I think if you don't put your body on a guy and you don't just try to look and try to go get the ball, they'll come in there and crash and fly over you. So.
For Royce, does this feel like a missed opportunity to pick up a win over a pretty good team in conference play?
Definitely. I feel like me and this team is definitely capable of winning that game out there tonight. But I think San Diego State tonight just did a little bit better executing certain things better than us. But I think that's why we're here. That's why we're playing. We're going to continue to grow and get better as a team and learn each other and learn those plays like Bryce was saying, make that one more and not be so stagnant like you were saying. And I think we'll live fight another day.
Bryce, you guys finished non-conference play playing really well offensively. So what has to change for you guys not be stagnant on offense throughout the rest of conference play?
Just go back to what we have done before. The past couple games, just moving the ball, making that extra pass, and just getting in the paint to look for others. I feel like that's something that we'll do better going on as we watch the film and stuff, so we'll be fine.
Bryce, do you feel like you had to press a little bit there in the second half, given that you guys were struggling so much offensively against a pretty stout defensive team?
Yeah, I felt that a little bit, but, that's just still something we just got to stay poised as a team and, just keep moving the ball and just stay together.
For either of you guys, were you aware they were playing without either of their point guards? And in retrospect, do you wish you had full court trapped a little bit more?
Can you say that again, please?
Were you aware they were playing without either of their point guards? And do you wish in retrospect maybe you had full court trapped a little bit more against?
Yeah, for sure. We realized that one of their point guards wasn't playing, so we knew that they're a little bit uncomfortable bringing the ball up. I feel like that's something we probably should have done more to, get them very uncomfortable. But yeah, we should have done better at that.
Any other questions? All right, thanks, fellas.
Thank you.